The next phase of our restaurant design will incorporate a walkthrough. All students will be required to complete a walkthrough for an additional assignment within the restaurant project. So, to go about accessing the walkthrough, we have to access the walkthrough command. And to do that, you want to be in your level 1 floor plan where you can see the parking lot, you can see the sidewalks, you can see the interior of the restaurant itself. So to do this, we want to go up to a command under our 3D view pull down menu, and we want to select the 2 footprint icon called walkthrough. This will create an animated 3D walkthrough of our model and give the client or the person you're designing a restaurant for a more 3D visual in addition to the cameras that we're going to talk about later. So by selecting the walkthrough command, we want to start outside the building and we want to proceed in an approach type fashion. So as you can look on the screen, our icon now is a plus sign. So we're going to be using the left mouse button, and by clicking on that, I'm going to start my pathway in front of the restaurant on the site plan, and I'm just going to continue a path. Now by clicking the left mouse button, we can sort of control the pathway into the restaurant, as you can see and follow along graphically. As I get into the restaurant, I'm going to then go to the right, and I'm just going to do an automated walkthrough. So my first stop is to follow a pathway over to the right, and I'm going to enter into the first restroom that I come across. So I'm going to click, I'm going to go in the hallway and then enter into the actual restroom. And by doing that, I'm just looking now visually around that particular area, making a 360-degree turn. I'm going to come back out into that small hallway, and I'm going to continue to the back of the restaurant, and now I'm going to enter into the kitchen area. Now, as you're working your way through these areas, try not to walk or pass through any type of solid objects, such as tables, chairs, equipment. So make a nice uniform walkway. Now I'm going to proceed to the right into our dry storage area, just to show how that area of the building is actually laid out. So as you can see, I'm coming down, I'm turning, proceeding back out the same way I came in. So you're visually looking at mostly all the rooms as you're proceeding through. Now as I come out of the restaurant, I'm going to make a right-hand turn, come across another dining area, and I'm taking a look now at the raised dining, and then proceeding over to a more casual dining area, which has a bar and some additional tables. As I come around and exit out of that area, coming out the front door once again, and I'm going to make a right-hand turn. I'm going to follow the sidewalk, and I'm going to continue around the building to look at an area in the rear of the building which has some outdoor dining. So I'm given every perspective of the dining area. And as I move to the right, I'm going to get on the other sidewalk and then just follow that to the front of the building, and I'll stop. So I'm going to click, right click, and then I'm going to go up to the finish walkthrough at the top. This locks in our pathway, as you can see, where we actually started from. Now to take a look at this, we're going to go over to our project browser, And we're going to come down, and there should be a registered walkthrough file now. And if I expand that walkthrough file, you're going to see walkthrough number 1. So if I click on it, you can see where I actually came from. Now that's the last frame. So what I want to do next, I want to actually go up to the top of the screen and go to edit walkthrough. And by clicking on that, you're going to see a chart come up, and it's going to give us some information about the walkthrough. How many frames, as you can see, and I'm going to go ahead. There's 300 total frames. I'm going to take the chart and I'm going to put that back at 1. Then I'm going to come over to the frame setting to the right. It will highlight in blue, and I'm going to click on that. And that will open up a drop down menu. Now in this, I'm going to change the total frames. I'm going to bump that up to 1200. And how many frames per second? I'm going to go to 1. Now this is where you're going to have to customize it to your actual restaurant. Then I'm going to apply. As you can see, I have a negative. I must take that out. Then apply. And then pick OK. Now as you can see my screen, I'm going to stretch that screen using the drag circles at each area. I'm also going to go to the bottom of my screen and I'm going to click on the visual styles box, which is a rectangle, and I'm going to change that to consistent colors. Now you have some options there. You could go consistent, you can go shaded, you have some options that you can go with. For now, I'm just going to use the hidden. Now, to go back in, I'm going to go up to edit, and this brings up our menu once again, and I'm going to go and hit the play button. Now as I play, it's going to follow that pathway that I created earlier in the top view. This gives a great perspective of the actual restaurant that the student has designed. Now as you enter the building, it's going to follow that pathway. Now if it's fast, we can slow those frames down. So it takes a little bit of practice. You may not get it correct on your first or second camera attempt, but we can always modify it. We can delete and start over. But you can see the pathway of the actual restaurant. And it really gives you that feeling of 3D that you've worked on throughout the last several weeks. As you can see, we're 3/4 of the way through the video. We're in the back exterior patio area, working our way around, coming back the sidewalk to the front of the building. So this is just another way you can express yourself graphically with the 3D walkthrough.